Welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Scoop Coaches Show. I have to say right out that the head baseball coach, Teddy, has given me a nice spring cold. Where hasn't baseball started? Where is it?
He's giving you the cold shoulder,
Yeah.
what he's doing, yeah. Jeez,
So you'll have to carry the conversation, but then I got to thinking that's no different than normal. So we're just a normal Sunday here.
I'm just going to shut up today then. Okay.
Joining me
Good
is
luck.
my right-hand man, Ted Hammond. Theodore Hammond.
Not speaking.
It's going to be a quick,
If I
a quick show, Andy.
I can tell when I'm getting slammed, and I just.
Well, we're going to start out with golf, Teddy. So you got to talk because you're talking about the Blue Jay golf team.
I'll go quick because I want to get that baseball team. I looked at TV the other night and I see New Ulm loses both in softball and baseball to Waseca, and I'm thinking that can't be
I wonder
right.
if that's ever happened.
Well, I don't drink, and I'm wondering maybe I'm hallucinating. I didn't know, but it was fun to watch. Okay, golf real quick. Monday we went to Faribault. Faribault had an 8-team guys tournament and a 5-game team girls tournament, and the girls won it, and the boys took second to Shattuck St. Mary's. And Shattuck St. Mary's, every kid from there shot in the mid-70s.
Wow.
And unfortunately for us, they're in our section. We moved into a new section this year, and they're just the real deal. Well, so we took second there with the guys, and we had finally had Nick Rowling came back, and he helped us out when we took second place. And we beat Faribault by 17 strokes, and thought, okay, we got to play Faribault on Friday. That set us up well for that because it was just a dual meet on Friday. So when we go over there on Friday, we lose. We didn't have a number one golfer that day, and I didn't think that would make that big a difference. But Faribault came down 17 strokes, and we went 17 strokes higher than we did on Monday. So we ended up losing by 10. It was we played 18. That was a good thing. So the kids are getting used to 18. But we lost 352 to 362. And we only had one guy in the 80s, and Faribault had 2, and the guy in the 80s was a 7th grader, little Griffin Seifert. So he shot an 86, and he's proven he's the real deal. And so bringing him up to varsity is one of the smarter things I've done recently. And we should have won both. You know, we took second in the match, the tournament, and we took second against Faribault. I wasn't a happy camper. So we didn't stop and eat on the way home. That was told them we win, we stop. We don't win, we don't stop. And in a 25-minute trip, we're not going to starve to death. Yeah. So we didn't. So all in all, for the guys' side, it wasn't that good. But for the girls' side, it was great. They won first place when we went over there. In the 18 holes for girls, you just say we're breaking 100. Okay, if we can break 100. And so we had Sydney O'Brien and Crystal Caribou came through in that regard. Then we got the younger girls coming in like Hannah Potter. Megan Filson, the senior, she was just over 100, just almost broke it. So we played well. And the nice thing is that when you come to tournament time, they'll show scores. The other teams look at it and say, that's a pretty good score for Waseca coming in. So let's see, the girls had 389. So obviously we broke 100 for all 4 girls that they counted scores. For them, a great week. I gave them an A on their report card. They were happy. Now we just got to work on bringing those scores down into the mid-90s or low 90s. And we get Sydney O'Brien just signed it at Southwest State. If she can get down in the low 80s, I think she can. We're going to be a force to be reckoned with when it comes tournament time. And this week coming up, we got, let's see, Monday we got Fairmont at home, boys and girls conference meet. And then Tuesday the girls are going to go over to Mankato East, North Links, and the boys are going to go to a tournament at Shoreland over in St. Peter. And our goal is to beat St. Peter on their home course. They beat us by 1 in our course, and we shot just abysmal that day. So we want to go over there and show them. Last year we won the tournament over there, and we'd like to go back and then two-peat, whatever we can, 3-peat till you 2-peat. And I think with everybody, we finally have a full squad. We should be okay over there. But the youngsters, Sam O'Brien came in. He took like second on Monday. It's amazing, these young kids. And then we got Gabe State's only a sophomore, and then we got some juniors sprinkled in there with Rowling and Weber. So right now we're kind of putting together that team.
I'm just wondering if Hannah Potter, 8th grader, is listening to everything Mom's telling her.
I hope she does.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen her mom hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I made the comment.
Have you ever seen Matt hit?
Yeah.
The dad. She's coming from
a couple good teachers there.
Yes, she does. She really does.
JWP and NRHEG golf. Heard anything, Teddy?
So Montauk had a par even par 36. They won against, I think it was Medelia, and Schmitz came in with like a 40. So when those two are on, they're pretty good. Yeah. And that's all I saw for that. They won that match. And they go up and down like most high school golfers do.
NRHEG and JWP will both be playing at Dodge Center on Tuesday in the
Does NH
Trayton invite. I haven't seen one thing.
I was going to say, does New have a team?
New Richland.
You get
golf this year.
Brad, if you're out there, Brad Root, have you seen a sighting of him lately? But just some scores.
Yeah,
would be nice.
Really. The track teams, once again, Teddy, I'm leaving that all up to you.
I'm sorry. I'm nothing but focused right now. I got blinders on. Golf is the only thing I see.
JWP track team will be at Blooming Prairie on Tuesday. The Waterville track team will be at Medford on Tuesday. NRHEG will be at Maple River Tuesday. Waseca will travel to New Ulm on Thursday. I did see a couple of results from NRHEG. I believe the girls and boys both finished third at kind of a good-sized meet in Stewartville.
Okay.
And I saw the girls did have, I saw both of the Wagner twins won an event, and Haley Schuler won the hurdle event, so they had some winners down there. Then they were at Blue Earth, I believe, on Friday, and I didn't get a chance to go through those results yet. But they've been getting some action, and they're sending me a little something so I can at least...
Well, I've been watching JWP a little bit, and they have a young 7th grade runner, distance runner, 1600, and I think she's already set the school record as a 7th grader. And Coach Kehoe was talking highly about her and helping relays. And I did notice that Josh Danicki went out for track rather than baseball this year. I didn't know that, and then I'm waiting to see if I'm sure he's going to add some speed to the relays and stuff. So we should be seeing some results from that.
Softball teams in the area had a busy week. JWP, they got up to 3-3 now, Teddy, I see. They did lose to Randolph Saturday, big time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did you see that? They had a 10-run lead. They lost 22-19. I think they both missed a couple extra points.
I wonder if they were both resting their number one pitchers or.
Well, Kaylee Anderson, I think, started for them. So but they got a Storjahan. I don't know if you've seen that name.
Yes.
She's sophomore, and it looks like that she's going to be the up-and-coming pitcher for them. That seems to be the one that wins the ball games for them.
The Bulldogs, as we mentioned, 3-3. They will entertain USC on Tuesday. WEM is now 6-4, Teddy. They had a very good week. They beat Blooming Prairie and Medford. Then yesterday they were over in the Nicollet tournament.
Okay.
Won their first 2 games and lost to host Nicollet in the championship 7-5.
The Raiders, okay.
So the Bucks had a 4-1 week. Got them up to 6-4 for the year. Tuesday, they will be, I guess I didn't write down where they will be.
Well, they can come with us, go to North Links.
NRHEG has won 5 in a row after starting the season with a loss. They're 5-1. Wendy Schultz's crew. They defeated 3 teams last week. They've really been hitting the ball. They score a lot of runs.
So she's up to 203 wins now.
Yep. They will play Monday at Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial. And Melissa Cox and the Blue Jays finally got on the win side. As Ted mentioned, the baseball and the softball team both beat New Ulm on the same day, and I don't know if that's ever happened because New Ulm is also very good in softball normally, year after year. The Jays lost a couple of games and then defeated New Ulm 8-7. So Monday they will be entertaining Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial. They are 1-5 for the year.
You ever been to Lake Crystal's new school?
No, we're going to go Monday.
Well, you won't see the gym.
No.
Unless you're going to play indoors. But
nope.
It's a gorgeous place. Really, they taxpayers spent some good money there.
Baseball teams in the area, Teddy, the Bulldogs are 3-3, and I see Walker Miller won another game, so he's kind of turning into their ace pitcher.
Yes, he is.
They lost, then they defeated Faribault BA 8-2 with another good game by Walker. And they defeated Blooming Prairie on Friday night 14-4. Tuesday they head to Cleveland. And I see your man Tommy Gannon had a 3-hit game.
Yep.
So
and then watch this other kid, the catcher named Sam Eustace. He was my sophomore up and coming in basketball. I call him Deustace, Sam Deustace, because his number was 22 in basketball. So I bet. Yep.
NRHEG, the Panthers are 2-6 for the year, but they did have a couple of wins last week. They had a 4-game week. They went 2-2 during the week, defeated Martin County West and Blooming Prairie. Tuesday, they head to Faribault BA.
Okay, go get the Catholics.
Or Faribault Academies, I guess, in baseball.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so. WEM, the Buccaneers of Sam Steer.
Jeez, what a week.
5-3 for the year. They defeated Blooming Prairie. They defeated Medford on back-to-back no-hitters by different guys.
Okay, one was McBroom, and was the other one Gross?
Gross, yeah.
Okay.
And then Waseca went over to Waterville on Friday afternoon. The Bucks led 3-2 going into the bottom of the sixth. We were the home team there because it was our home game, and we exploded for 5 runs. Ended up with a 7-4 win.
What happened?
We got hits. We had 3 hits going into the 6th inning and got 5 hits in the 6th.
Holy crap!
How about that for an explosive machine?
Yeah.
Good coaching.
The Bucks played Tuesday at USC. And the Waseca Blue Jays, we no longer can say they're 0-4. After running the losing streak to 5, losing to Cato East 6-1, losing to Fairmont 7-4, the Jays bounced back with a 1-0 victory over New Ulm and a 7-4 win over Waterville. And we went down to New Ulm Thursday, and Eric Moss was the Eric Moss we remembered from last year. He was hitting his spots, hitting his corners. They only threatened 1 time the entire game. I believe it was the bottom of the 6th inning, and they got a 1-out double, moved to third on a grounder, and a guy just hit a rope up the middle, and Hank Hagan just stretched all 6'5" out and stuck it on 1 bounce and threw him out at first.
He's 6'5"?
Well, 6, I don't know, 6'3".
What to you, anybody 6'5"?
Yeah, they're all up. I look up to all of them, so that's all I know. Then, as I mentioned, Friday, the Jays played. Beautiful day. Man, that was a nice day to play a ball game. Went over to Waterville, which is going to be our home field a couple more times.
Right.
And bounced back and defeated the Bucks. We always have good games with them. They swing the bats well. Hagan pitched that game, threw a 6-hitter. Only walked a couple guys. And like New Ulm, Eric only walked 1, so really, really fun when they throw strikes and you make the routine plays behind them. Tristan Kincaid had 3 hits. It's the first time we think that Hafe and I have been together in 3 years and anybody's had 3 hits, an individual.
Well, you got the nickname TK,
Yep.
okay, for Tristan Kincaid.
Yep.
Well, apparently he didn't K that day.
He did not.
Okay.
And sometimes he has a little tendency to do that.
Well, looks like he found his rhythm.
Yep. We were really happy against Waterville because the last 4 hitters in our lineup all had 1 hit.
Oh,
And
nice.
when you're making out the lineup, you're looking and you're saying, ooh, we're going to have trouble down here. But the last 4 guys all got a hit, and that's really helps when some of your lower hitters can chip in a little bit.
So the bottom of the order goes to the top.
That's right.
All right.
They
I like
did.
that. Yeah.
The Jays will have another 4-game week this week.
All right.
Starting with Monday, we head to Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial.
Just get those TV dinners out there, Jennifer, because he'd be coming home late. Okay. Pizza's good too, yeah.
Oh, I'd long if there only was a TV dinner waiting. Yeah. Take some money and pick up a sub on your way home.
TV, but no dinner.
Well, moving on to the college scene, Teddy.
Yo.
The MSU Mavericks baseball team, they had a 3 out of 4 win week so far. They split with Upper Iowa in the middle of the week, and then they bombed Concordia St. Paul twice yesterday. And they will play
Today.
again today in a doubleheader.
Yep.
The Mavs are 21-12 so far.
What are they in conference? Like 7-5 or something?
I
don't know.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't have their conference written
Okay.
down.
Wait, where's your research team? Jeez.
It was late, Teddy.
Okay.
I still had stats to do from Friday. It was late last night.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's like adding up golf scores. I know what you're talking about.
Softball team MSU Mankato 39-12. Wow.
Did you see a Bemis had a no-hitter?
Yep.
Jeez.
The Mavs are done this week.
It's not even May.
They finished their regular season before May.
Good Lord.
They swept Southwest State and they swept Wayne State.
They don't have a whole lot of depth either.
No.
You ever look on their bench whenever they have on TV? I think they only got like 12 girls on a team. Seriously.
That's
for
all
a
right.
scholarship school, though, you'd think you'd have at least 15.
Next weekend, they will play Augustana and the regular season is finished. Wow, that's hard to believe.
That really is.
The Gusties, the Golden Gusties baseball team, they lost a pair to, can't read my own writing there.
That's okay. Well, if you can't read it, I can't
can't
read it. Jeez.
Oh, McAllister.
Okay.
And then yesterday they bounced back and swept St. Olaf in a doubleheader. So they are 13 and 15, as we mentioned, overall.
Mm-hmm.
They will play Tuesday at... Teddy, I got to
My God.
have you start writing this out.
Okay.
Can't read my own writing. The softball team without head coach Jeff Annis.
Hey, did you see what they did?
Did you see what he is now, Teddy?
He's the vice skip.
A vice skip.
Yeah, I thought he was the
means.
head skip, and he's only a vice skip. Jeez.
Whatever that means, right?
I don't know. I talked to Jake Nelson. He is a big curler. For those of you who don't know Jake Nelson out there, okay? He's from Bemidji area, and I guess curling, everybody's brought up. Kids and everything, you all curl up there. And he knows all about it. His dad was some skipper for a state championship and stuff. And
There you go.
yeah, so if you need anything about curling out there, folks, maybe that's going to be the next big sport here in Waseca.
Gusties are doing pretty well without Jeff. They're
Yes, they
18
are.
and 8,
Mm-hmm.
and they play at St. Olaf today in
Okay.
a doubleheader. The Mankato Bethany Vikings, we cover a little bit. The baseball team 5 and 17. The softball team 5 and 21.
The boys had a big win yesterday, though.
They
beat
upset Morris, in one game.
And then got drilled in the second one.
They beat Morris in 12 innings, and the game-winning hit came from Waterville's Nolan Gross.
Really?
Got the game-winning single to drive in the
And
winning
you heard
run.
it first. We got the scoop right here. Okay.
Tuesday, the Bethany baseball team heads to Crown College for a doubleheader, and the softball team plays a doubleheader at St. Scholastica up in Duluth.
I like that school.
The Golden Gophers baseball team, 8 and 2 in the conference, 24 and 11 for the year. They've won the first two against Northwestern. Play the series finale today. Next weekend they'll be down at Adam Christ in Illinois for a 3-game set.
Go Big Orange.
Go Big Orange. The softball team, 13 and 3 in the Big 10, 32 and 12 overall, and they've won the first 2 games against Nebraska. Those are big wins because Nebraska's always tough in softball.
They got those corn-fed girls down there. They're huge.
They wrap up their third game of the series at up in Minneapolis today, and then next weekend they have Maryland coming in for a 3-game set.
Is Maryland as tough in softball as they are in all the other sports?
No.
Oh, good. Jeez.
A few other things, Teddy. We got to talk a little bit about the Minnesota Wild.
We can?
They have forced a 6th game at least now, which is today, this afternoon, up at Minneapolis.
Did you watch that?
Yes.
The game the other night?
Yes.
You know, when they went behind, I thought, oh, God, now this is it.
I think everybody went, this is it.
Stick a fork in him, and then
Yep.
all of a sudden Mikko Koivu, I love that name, he comes through and ties it, and then he gets the overtime goal. And I'm thinking the Dallas crowd, they're ready to celebrate. And I'm glad. Norm Greed, stick it in your, okay, whatever. But, yeah, I still don't like them after they stole them from Minnesota, the North Stars, and I don't like them.
I think that my unprofessional hockey opinion, Dallas just looks like a much faster team to me.
Well, they just dominated the zone that whole second period. And then third period, they came out and right away, boom. But there's some true grit on that.
Yeah, playoff hockey is fun.
Yeah, if you just had Parisi, and then and, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but that guy makes such a difference as far as the get going. And is he going to play again? I mean, even if they win the series, somebody said he won't play
any talk about him playing again this year.
I heard his disc in his back.
Yeah.
Well, I can identify with that.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Game 6 is at 2:00 today. And the Wild goal now is to go back to Dallas one more time.
Did you see Philadelphia score yesterday?
No.
They got outshot 44-11, and they won 2-zip. goalie was standing on his head. Philadelphia.
Who says a hot goalie can't make a difference?
Oh God! You're like, how are they ahead? And then how did they win the game?
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
Your Minnesota Timberwolves have hired Tibbs.
Tom
Thibodeau.
Now, I've heard it both ways on TV, Thibodeau and Thibodeau.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, somebody out there, no, I'd just like to know how you pronounce it, so you pronounce it like you don't, prostate. Most people tell me, I hear that prostate cancer. Well, no, prostrate means you lay down on the ground and you spread out, okay? Prostate is a whole different ball game. I know.
We're just on some little rants today, aren't we?
I tell you, I've been sitting here all hour waiting to come up with that, but... Yeah, is it Thibodeau or Thibodeau?
How
Somebody
would you
out
like
there
it to
call
be,
it in.
Ted?
I'd like it to be Thibodeau.
Okay.
But when you
that's what I
got
said.
major announcers
That's what I
on ESPN going Thibodeau, and I'm thinking, you got a lisp? I don't know. But no offense to people out there with a lisp, but oh man. Okay.
Your Minnesota Twins, Teddy,
Yes.
5-13, and all they did yesterday was strike out 18 times, tying a
Let's see.
club record.
Okay, let me get this straight. Okay, you have a 9-inning game, right? And you have 3 outs an inning, so that's 3 times 9 is 27.
Yep.
And we struck out 18. That to me is like 2/3, if my math is correct.
That's
Okay,
like-
that's my Menominee math, but
The new man?
that's the new man.
That's putting a lot of pressure on the defense, isn't it? Making them field 9 balls for the day.
Holy crap!
A 2-5 week for the Twins.
Yeah, but hey, they're playing the #1 team in baseball right now, the Washington Nationals. So you got to cut them a little slack there. Yesterday, Hughes pitched well after the first inning.
Yep.
He really did. And I want to just bring up who they're probably the best pitcher is right now. And maybe you probably don't
Hughes.
agree.
Hughes.
No, it isn't Hughes.
Yep.
Hughes
Hughes.
isn't. Nope. Nolasco, did you see him the other day? That kid was just on. Jeez. Okay.
One game.
He's pitched one game, one good game all year.
Well, name somebody else. Okay.
Hughes.
Wait till you hear my song today. It has to do with the Twins.
Cleveland comes to town tomorrow, starting a homestand for the week.
Yep. Now, how can they, they talk about the Washington Redskins and how they got to change that nickname. How long have they had the Cleveland Indians with, what's the name of the character? Chief Wahoo?
Yeah, something.
Or Yahoo?
Yeah.
Or whatever? How can they get away with that?
And there's never even any talk
No,
about them
nobody's
changing.
boycotting games or anything. I tell you, this world.
Teddy, I know what you're really excited for is Thursday, the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Who do the Pack have in their sights?
I hope some wide receivers.
So are the Vikings hoping that.
Some healthy wide receivers. I'm just looking at a marketing instructor I just read in the paper, and they had a marketing class in high school, and they decided they wanted to have a fundraiser. So they're going to have a draft this Wentz kid that's out of Bismarck, North Dakota. So they're going to do it in the high school gym. They sold tickets. They sold so many tickets they got to move it to the stadium now.
Yeah,
outside
I read that too. It's just been moved to
and I'm
the
thinking,
stadium.
my hat's off. I'm a marketing teacher. That guy, I hope he makes big bucks.
Yep.
But talk about it. How big is the draft got? When you got to go out to a stadium to have a draft party. Good grief.
Isn't that something?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Really.
It runs about 3 days on ESPN.
Yeah.
That's all you can find.
And
is
who's the
draft.
last guy to get drafted?
Yeah.
Mr.
Oh,
Irrelevant.
irrelevant.
And
yeah,
they had
the
a
Gusty
guy,
was
and he's
once.
still, I think, is he still playing?
I don't know.
Because he made it for like 5 years.
Yep.
A guy from Gustavus is Mr. Irrelevant. Last guy to get drafted. I got to remember that guy's name, but I can't. Okay.
Anything else, Teddy?
Yep, we got some other things to go up my
Okay.
chest. How much time we got, Andy?
Oh, we got 5 minutes.
Okay, well, I want to say something about the playoff series. Oh, thank you. Okay.
Purple Rain.
Ooh, Purple Rain. Yeah, probably should talk a little bit about Prince's death, but none of us seem to be in that era.
Well, I was.
You know, okay, Andy. What
I was
did
20
you
years, 20 years old.
did you ever go to his concerts?
I never went to a Prince concert.
Then you weren't a very big Prince fan. Okay. But from what I hear and what I've read, and I mean the media is engulfed with it, but the guy was just a genuine nice guy. And usually you don't see that with, their Kurt Cobain ODs and, Michael Jackson and everything else. Woo! But you got this Prince guy, apparently, I mean, he stayed at his Minnesota roots, and everybody just said, he got to go to his, was it Paisley Palace or whatever they got up there in Minnetonka?
Paisley Park.
Paisley Park, okay. So we got purple, and I didn't have anything at home, so I brought my car wash. The things look purple on TV, I hope, okay. But the guy was something else, and I haven't heard anything. I'm just praying to God, that the autopsy just says he died of natural causes or whatever, something that maybe an aneurysm he didn't know about or something. But hey, our condolences out there, everybody that's Prince fans out there. I saw women on TV crying. They said, I remember my first concert, and they couldn't even talk on TV. They're inconsolable. The guy must have made an impact on somebody.
Must have.
Okay. Then the other thing I got is the playoffs. How long the playoffs last in hockey and in basketball. It started, 2 weeks ago? And it's going to go till the middle of June.
Middle of June.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, to me, when in the old days, when they had just best of 5, that was smart. Okay, and then all of a sudden, all the series now got to go best of 7s, and you got some whitewashes. A couple series are already done, 4-zip. I know it's the almighty dollar out there and advertising and everything, but at the same time, hey, give the fans a break. Don't water it down by putting 20 out of 30 teams or whatever make the playoffs. It's just ridiculous. So I look at these teams on TV. I see some of the mismatches you got, and I'm thinking, why? Just cut back on the teams or cut back on the games in the first and second round.
Well, it's really tough is the teams that sweep 4-0
Yeah.
and playing somebody that goes 7, you're sitting inactive for a whole nother week.
Yep, and then you got the chance for injury. You got Steph Curry sprained his ankle,
Yep.
and they probably would have swept Houston no problem. Well, then Houston won a game, but Steph out. But I don't know. It's just sad when the last 2 months. I can remember when we had our basketball camp, my brother and I, and we'd be sitting there saying, "Who do you think's going to win the NBA Finals?"
Yeah.
And we always had that in the second week in June.
Yeah, a third of the baseball season's over
Yeah.
before those winter sports get done.
Got that off my chest. Anything else? You got anything, Andy?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Well,
Okay,
sing away, baby.
All right. Well, I was thinking last week, and I held up the K, and I just threw the sign away, thinking the Twins had kind of broken out of that K syndrome there.
Should have hung on to that.
Well, then I started thinking of a song that might have the word K in it. I came up with one. Okay. You remember Doris Day, Andy? You ever crush on her?
No.
I didn't either. But
I didn't either.
yeah, she was too old. No, she used to be I'd be like a cougar. She'd be the cougar from anyhow. She had a song, Que Sera Sera. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When I was just a little boy, I wonder what I would be. The Twins were a novelty, so that's what I wanted to be. Okay, now I got the lyrics, okay? Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. I can't hit what I can't see. Que sera, sera. What do you think? You might catch on?
It's got possibilities.
Okay, so maybe somebody out there can take it and refine a little bit,
That
and
could
then we can
maybe
make
hit
some
the
bucks on
charts,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Que sera, sera. That's it. Whatever will be, Andy. We're done.
That'll do it for this week's show.
Don't
Thanks
put
to
your coaching
Steve and Hudson for producing the show. Thanks to Joel Hayford for the baseball report. Thanks to my right-hand man, Ted Theodore Hammond.
Thanks, Dave.
And thanks to you for watching. Hopefully all goes well. We'll be back next week.
Que sera, sera. Whatever will be.